conference will now be recorded.
Maybe, Dan, if you want to just ask everybody to turn their webcams off unless they're speaking.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll get if you're not speaking, could we have you turn your webcams off? I guess it affects something with the computer. We'd like to establish a quorum via roll call. Councilor Molden.
Councilor Molden here.
Councilor Schmidt.
Here.
Councilor Hammerud.
Here.
Councilor Heineke.
Here.
With the quorum established, I hereby call the Wednesday, May 20th, 2020 regular meeting of the Appleton City Council to order. Approval of the minutes, April 15th, May 6th, regular special meeting minutes.
I, Councilmember Schmidt, motion to approve minutes from the April 15th, 2020 regular meeting and the May 6th, 2020 special meeting of the Appleton City Council as presented.
Motion has been made by Councilor Schmidt to approve the minutes from the April 15th, 2020 and the May 6th, 2020 meetings of the Appleton City Council. Do I hear a motion to approve?
This is Councilor Molden, I'll second.
Okay, Councilor Molden has seconded motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
The motion, my vote as mayor is yay. The motion carries 5-0. The minutes of the April 15th, 2020 and May 6th, 2020 meetings are hereby approved. Appleton Area Health repayment of $744,130.23 to the City of Appleton proprietary and enterprise funds. Do we have a motion?
I, Councilmember
Councilmember Schmidt, motion to approve the repayment of $744,130.23 loan to Appleton Area Health, City of Appleton Enterprise Funds, and for said funds to be paid in the form of a lump sum no later than Monday, May 25th, 2020.
Motion has been made by Councilor Schmidt to approve the repayment of $744,130.23 to the City of Appleton from the Appleton Area Health in the form of a lump sum no later than Monday, May 25th, 2020. Do I hear a second?
This is Heineke, I second.
Councilor Heineke has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion?
This is Councilmember Schmidt. I'd just like to congratulate Appleton Area Health for going out and finding those grant dollars and getting the money that was out there and available. You know, they've got over, I believe, $5 million in grants, so that's wonderful. And I'm glad they were able to do so.
Any other discussion? Hearing
I just
none.
also like to say that this is Heineke. I just also like to say I think this will make the hospital whole and city whole again, and a good move for our city and hospital.
Anything else? If not, we'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Motion carries by 5. The City of Appleton shall be paid $744,130.23 by the Appleton Area Health in a form of a lump sum no later than Monday, May 25th, 2020. Motion to open local Board of Appeals and Equalization public hearing.
I, Councilor Molden, Motion to open the public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization.
The motion has been made by Counselor Molden to open public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization. Do I hear a second?
This is Heineke, I second.
Counselor Heineke has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. Motion carries unanimously. The public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization is hereby open.
And we've got Joe Sheeta on the line, who's the Soot County Assessor. He'll talk about the
Okay.
report in front of you.
Joe, welcome.
Good afternoon, Councilman. We do have a couple, parcels that, I will be, offering up, for acceptance of change of value. Before we do that though, I was just wondering if there are any, present, people who wish to file an appeal.
Just to repeat what Mr. Cheetah said, are there any members of the residents of Appleton signed on who have any appeals to present at this time?
Hearing none, I think you can go ahead.
Alright, so, on May 7th, I met with some employees from Weston and we reviewed a couple of parcels, in the city of Appleton there. Over on the eastern side of town, there are 4 parcels that, I'm gonna present for a change in value. The first parcel being 22-0845-002. This would be, the parcel has, I guess they describe it as the old country store. They had a value of $33,800. After reviewing the property, I'm making a suggestion to lower that value to $26,800. That would include, actually looking at it, I increased the land value correct of that and decreased the building value, so as a net decrease of $7,000. But the council prefer I go through each parcel and then make a decision on it, or would the council prefer to make the decision on each parcel separate?
Can you repeat that, Joe? We're having some trouble hearing you. Please repeat the parcel number and the option for how the city council can proceed forward to vote.
Okay, as far as proceeding forward, we can do each parcel individually, or if you would rather, we could have suggestions for every parcel and then just have the council make a decision after that.
You want to go individually, or you want to do the group and then make a decision after?
Yeah, I don't, I can't understand him. I mean,
Yeah, I would say just do them all.
okay,
Okay, do them all. First parcel, 22-0845-000. It had a 2020 value of $33,800. I'm making a suggestion to decrease that by $7,000, $26,800. Parcel 22-0846-000. At a 2020 value of $51,000. My suggestion is to reduce that value to $35,400. That would be the parcel that is directly west of the old country store, old warehouse that is no longer used. The third parcel, 22 dash 0847 dash 000. Those would be the two, fertilizer tanks, the vertical ones. 2020 value on those, $186,200. I suggest a reduction to $69,000 on that.
What did you say the building was on that one?
The two, fertilizer storage containers.
You know, Joe, the list that was sent over to us doesn't include a lot of these parcels that you're mentioning.
Where are those located?
You're on mute, because it's hard to say that.
Joe, the list that you sent over to us doesn't have these parcels that you're citing right now.
No, like I said, these were looked at on May 7th. This was after I had sent you, the info.
Okay.
But, that last parcel I mentioned, the 220847, those are the liquid, fertilizer storage facility of that old country store there. And, final parcel I reviewed, 22 dash 0851 dash 000. We just, again, just liquid fertilizer. It's an old office building, local storage, warehouse type thing. At 2020 value, 25,000. After reviewing that, I would suggest lower it $1,000, 24,000.
Joel, this is Andrew. I mean, I haven't seen any of this information yet, but the numbers 1, 2, and 4 seem somewhat reasonable. Number 3, you know, dropping it, almost dividing it by 3 seems like a huge drop. The rationale there.
That was a huge number. When I entered to storage computers, those are the numbers that came up. The numbers are based off partial foot valuation, commercial. Previous values from that, I couldn't tell you how they were arrived at. Previous. Within the last year, a lot of paper, so assessments have been entered into the system and kind of updated. It is possible that they have been overvalued for a number of years. I do know, speaking with Westcon, that those two fertilizer tanks will be going out later this year. I guess in essence, this is keeping a 1-year tank.
Quick question here. Is this something that we need to vote on this meeting? Is it possible? I mean, we can't hear.
Yeah, it has to be done this weekend because the expense is already granted.
By the 30th.
Okay, by the 30th, okay. go through these.
Joe, what methodology did you use for the property that Andrew just cited? Because I too kind of feel that it's been dropped a little intensely.
I used our tables that we have developed in our system. Let me give you a little information here on the hit films. One was 1990, one was 1998. Based on their size.
Willie, this is Andrew. I can't really hear anything Joe is saying.
Joe, we do not feel comfortable moving forward. Something's gonna have to happen because this city council is really not comfortable voting on things they don't know what's happening about.
This is Councilmember Molden. I would agree with Andrew. It's extremely hard to hear any information that's being submitted.
Is there,
Do you have a special meeting another time or something, or Joe can call in on
We can do a
landline
special
and get a
meeting.
better connection, or?
well, is there any way to change his connection?
The 30th is the deadline. So we can have a special meeting.
Yeah, unless he wants to call with a landline and not a computer.
I feel that we're being irresponsible to the city's taxpayers if this is not handled the right way. Joe, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to have a special meeting.
Yeah, I mean, is there some way that you could call into this office and make, everything could go fine, but we can't understand anything you're saying, it's really muffled.
Yeah, I'll go into the office. I'll go into the meeting right now.
Okay, so let's move forward to another item
Okay.
and then come back to it when he calls.
I wanna make sure Jay said I think he lost the connection. Jay, are you on the line now?
I did lose it, but I didn't reboot it, not in back end, so I'm good.
Okay, just checking.
Technical issues.
Yeah. So what do we,
We can leave it open,
Can
and
we
then when
leave
he
this-
comes
do we
back
need to-
on, because the meeting,
Yeah, we have to formally open the wellhead.
yeah, we can open the wellhead, but we can leave the local board
Yep.
open.
okay,
So let's move on to, if you want to, you decide.
yeah, let's, all right,
Okay, is that clear?
yeah, now we can hear you. Yep. Okay,
So Joe, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but, the numbers 1, 2, and 4 seem reasonable. Number 3 just really jumps at me as a huge decline. What was the rationale there of why it was overvalued, or what's going on?
I can't explain why previous value was there. There's no, I guess, no notes on that or anything. Like I was saying, when I entered the two, tanks into our system, that we have tables set up to factor in depreciation and the size, those are the numbers that it spits back out at me, based on their size, their age, and their expected life. With those numbers, it pops out at the $43,000 total for the two buildings, the two tanks. Like I said, the previous value, I can't say for sure where that number came from, because it didn't come from me, it came from the previous assessor. What you could do, and if the board wish, approve the 3 other parcels and decline that one, which would still give the owner the option to appeal it to the county board of appeal. I'm just gonna look here, your original meeting date before you convened was April 15th, which puts today at 35 days, I believe. So you would have 5 days to make a decision before the 40-day extension, it would come up on the last one if you're to wish to go that route.
Well, my gut reaction, this is Andrew again, is that, we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen any information on this, and it's just hard to swallow such a significant drop without more, details put in front of us, I guess.
Yeah, this, like I said, this was just an appeal or, a phone call in. I met with some of the representatives from WestCon, reviewed their parcels, their buildings. And, these are the numbers that we come up with, but, like I said, if the board would like to throw a different value, say even just a percentage reduction or no reduction, that's completely up to you guys. It's just, I guess, more of my recommendation for this particular parcel.
Joe, when you met with leadership at WestCon, what was their reaction to the figures you presented?
They accepted them all. They just thought there were a couple parcels that we looked at that I made no changes to also. So it's, I guess not that I just reduced all of them because that's what you wanted. This is just me looking at them and, putting on what I thought was, a reasonable value for that particular parcel. I do believe that $186,000 was a pretty steep value on the two, fertilizer tanks.
Do you have when the last time it was valued? I mean, when was the last time it was looked at? Is there any record of that?
Let's see if I got anything. Working from home right now, I don't have anything in front of me that says the last time they were looked at. Like I said, before I came on to the county here, the commercial was mostly done on paper. It's been a long process trying to get some of this into the computer system to keep more updated and accurate values. I think there were a number of commercial properties that maybe have been, I don't want to say neglected, but not updated in a number of years with a continuous value. For instance, let me just pull this one up. The fertilizer, 2015 is when it was first started keeping track of the value in the computer, and it hadn't changed in the sixth assessment, the value, which means the depreciation hadn't been kicking in at all. I realize it's a big drop, but I do question whether the previous value was correct, and thinking that that might be the biggest reason for this drop.
I guess, for the city council to consider, if the owners have not had an adverse reaction to Mr. Cheetah's findings, then we have to weigh the opportunity costs of delaying the process then.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we all know fair and well that they've moved their facility. I mean, their reactor's gonna be moved too, that's up there that they're making the fertilizer with, so I mean, they're phasing out, so. At this point in time, we should probably be happy with the 69,000 for right now, and, you know, talk to them maybe on a personal level and find out what their plans are.
I do know the plans for the fertilizer tank are to be torn down, this summer again.
So then you'll be reevaluating it again after the summer, obviously.
Yeah, once they're torn down, the plan is not to have any buildings there, and it'd be just a piece of bare land for the next couple of years is the plan. Minus, there's a couple other buildings and other parcels, but those are to be done.
Okay, well, at this point, I mean, my opinion is we should settle with the 69,000 now and try to talk to Westcon and see what their plans are, and maybe we can develop something with them down the road.
Yep, I feel more comfortable now with getting some more clear explanation from Joe. It makes more sense, so I feel fine too.
Okay. We move on to more of these then?
Joe, so you're gonna continue listing off the properties, or you need them to take an action now?
Them four are all the properties that I have.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you need a vote for them to accept your changes in equalized valuation?
Yeah, we'll need approval for each parcel, individually, whether to accept or not accept the changes.
Well, we're gonna do
The
them.
problem is that we don't have those parcel numbers in front of us.
I wrote them down.
You wrote them down? You give them to Dan.
I wrote them down as well.
You guys are all just showing off.
So I read off all these then, or what?
So what you'll do is, you'll follow the roll call structure, and the language will read, call for a motion, and then the motion will be to accept the equalized valuation as presented by the county assessor for parcel, and then you list the parcel.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I will make this is Counselor Molden, I'll make a motion to approve the accepted equalization evaluation as presented by the county assessor for parcel numbers 22-0845-000, 22-0846-000, 22-0847-000, and 22-0851-000.
Do we have do I hear a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Counselor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Motion carries unanimously. The public hearing of the local board of appeals and equalization is hereby closed.
No.
Did I do skip a page?
No, so the motion has passed, right?
Yep,
And the equalized valuations have been accepted.
okay.
Hit the hammer and make it official.
Everybody hear that?
And now you gotta close it. You gotta follow the roll call for closing it.
Okay.
Motion to close.
Do we have a motion to close?
By Councilmember Molden, motion to close the Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization.
Do I have a second?
So Heineke,
Member
I
Schmidt, I'll
second.
second.
Motion has been made by Counselor Heineke to close the public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization. Now we take roll call.
Yep.
So I missed one, there we go. Counselor Schmidt,
Yay.
Counselor Molden,
Yay.
Counselor Heineke,
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud.
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Now unanimously, the public hearing of the local Board of Appeals and Equalization is hereby closed.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, motion to open the wellhead protection public hearing.
Aye, Councilmember Schmidt, motion to open the Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, public hearing of the wellhead protection plan.
Motion has been made by Counselor Schmidt to open the public hearing of the wellhead protection plan. Do I hear a second?
This is Counselor Molden, I'll second.
Counselor Molden has seconded the motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Motion is unanimous. The public hearing of the wellhead protection plan is hereby opened. Aaron?
Yes, I'm here. I didn't know whether you wanted me to start in or if you wanted to introduce me first, so, this is Aaron Meyer with Minnesota Rural Water Association. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll try to keep this as short and sweet as I can. I guess, let me explain kind of the process of why we're at this point and the steps forward, and I'll do my best to update the council on what I think is important in the plan. I'll kind of give you the 30,000-foot view of things. If you want me to go closer, let me know. Probably the first reason you're probably wondering what we're doing here at the public hearing, the reason for it is you guys are required by Minnesota Department of Health to develop a wellhead protection plan that protects our drinking water supply. So you guys actually have an existing plan that we're in the process of amending. So the public hearing, as you're probably all familiar with, is the final stages where we began the process a couple years ago, in fact, where Department of Health delineated your wellhead protection area. And then we had a public information meeting where we shared that with the local units to government, and we took input from them. And then we developed the second part of the wellhead protection plan, which is more the management side of it, which I'll kind of go through at a high level tonight. And then the final stage is where we're at tonight, is we're taking comments from the public. And then after this, we'll be asking the council to approve the plan, which then gets sent on to the Minnesota Department of Health for their final approval, where they route your plan to some of the other state agencies where they have a chance to review it and provide comments. So, any questions at this point? Okay, I guess my intentions tonight was just to go over your well protection area so you understand where your water is coming from, and then just to kind of give you a few highlights in the plan itself and kind of what I think the council might want to pay attention to. I believe a map was emailed to everybody of your well protection area. I'll kind of explain it. Is you have your wells 3 and 4, and if you're looking at the map, you have a red circle around those, a red line. That's called your emergency response area. So it takes a water molecule 1 year to travel anywhere from the edge of that red line to your wells. So that's the highest priority area because viruses and pathogens can exist up to a year and potentially longer than that in that area. The blue area, kind of a bean shape, light blue on my screen. I'm not sure what it looks like on your guys' screen. That is the computer delineated wellhead protection area. So this is the work that the Minnesota Department of Health did by looking at your soils, how fast water moves through your soils, and transmissivity, and some other factors, but they came up with this computer delineated line, which is a 10-year time of travel. So a water molecule moves horizontally underground from anywhere on that blue line towards your wells. So as you can see here, the water is generally going kind of north-northeast to the south-southwest. Now the problem is you can't really show a landowner where that line is at to say, you're in the well protection area on this side of your property, on this side of the property, or outside of it, because it's a imaginary line, computer delineated line. So Department of Health, working with the city, delineated the kind of the hashed line on the outside. And for all practical purposes, this is the area that the city really needs to manage. And this is called your drinking water supply management area. And this is the area that Department of Health is asking you to manage through this wellhead protection plan. Now, the part 1 process, the delineation process, created this map. So this shows you where all the water in the next 10 years is theoretically coming from that's recharging your wells. Now, the other part of that report is a vulnerability assessment. And what they look at is soil, basically how fast does water get down to your aquifer and the screens on your wells. So if you look at here, the area, kind of the square shaped, unshaded area around your wells, that's the highly vulnerable area, which means that there is not enough geological protection, or also probably easy to understand is there's no clay, there's no tightly packed soils underneath the surface of the land that slows the water down enough to take away the risk of contamination. So water in this area probably gets down your wells within a matter of weeks to maybe up to a year, but probably weeks to a few months. Now, the other area outside that, kind of the yellowish on my screen here, that is a moderately vulnerable area. And this area, you actually have some geological protection underground. So you have more clay in that area. So the clay is persistent enough that it provides protection, and you're really only worried about storage, any type of storage tank, whether it be underground or above ground, or wells in that situation, because they can punch through that protective layer. They can act like a kind of a bypass where anything gets in the casing, or it can travel on the outside of the casing of the well. It can go through that protective clay layer and get into your drinking water aquifer. Where the areas closest to your wells, you don't have that protection. So literally anything that happens on the land surface theoretically could impact your water quality. I went through that pretty fast. Did that make any sense at all? Or any questions?
So that makes sense. We've had a presentation kind of on this before.
Okay, perfect. Well, really the only other stuff I wanted to mention tonight that I think is pertinent is that everything in this plan can be grant funded by Minnesota Department of Health. They have two different types of grants, but anything that's in this plan, you can get funds to do that. You can get up to $20,000 a year to basically fund the management strategy. So the second part of the planning process was where we worked with the city, Marilyn Byro, the consultant, developed a plan where it looks at what are your potential contaminant sources in that drinking water supply management area, and what management strategies do we need to draft to prepare the city to make sure that those potential contaminant sources don't impact your water supply. And also, how is the city prepared to handle a natural disaster or a mechanical failure that would impact your ability to provide water? So the second part of the planning process has an inventory of all your potential contaminant sources, and that's based on the vulnerability. And really, in summary, there isn't a lot of issues for you guys to worry about. You have some older tank sites, and you have a hazardous waste generator, which was with the school, but those are not active. They're not really an issue for you guys. Your biggest threat at this point is private wells or old wells that might not be used, that might have open casings. That's really your primary threat, that if those wells are mismanaged, that something could get down into your aquifer. We're not seeing a lot of water quality issues. You guys have some pretty high chloride and bromide levels, which we don't really understand where they're coming from. It just means that we're finding some salt and some other things in your groundwater. But looking at your plan, there's nothing really there. Most of the management strategies are talking about doing some educating landowners on how to manage their wells. We also have some other stuff in there about some increased monitoring. And to be honest with you, there's nothing in there that's controversial, and everything that is in there can be funded through the grants. So I guess with this, rather than go into lots of details, I'd rather just kind of summarize it. I don't see a lot of issues with your plan, and I think going forward with it, it's a pretty straightforward plan that you guys don't have a lot to worry about, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
I guess with that, I'll stop and see if there's any questions.
I guess I have none. Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, motion to close the wellhead protection plan hearing.
Aye, Councilmember Schmidt, motion to close the Wednesday, May 20th, 2020 public hearing on the wellhead protection plan.
Motion has been made by Counselor Schmidt to close the public hearing of the wellhead protection plan. Do I hear a second motion?
This is Councilmember Molden, I'll second.
Councilmember Holden has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud? My vote as mayor is yea. Unanimously carries to close the public hearing of the wellhead protection plan. Plan is hereby closed. Motion to adopt resolution 2020-18.
Councilmember Molden, motion to approve the 2020-18 adopting the wellhead protection plan.
Motion has been made by Counselor Molden to adopt the wellhead protection plan. Do I hear a second motion?
This is Heineke, I second.
Counselor Heineke has seconded the motion. We here be in discussion. Will there be any discussion? I'm thinking about something else. Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud? My vote as mayor is yea. Unanimously, the wellhead protection plan is hereby adopted. Presentations, Apex Engineering.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Bob, are you here?
I'm here. Can everybody hear me okay?
Can hear you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Just wanted to, I don't need any actions tonight. Just wanted to get everybody an update as far as where we're at with the water treatment plant and well project. With the water treatment plant design, we're approximately 70% complete. As far as the well goes, I attended a Lac Pearl Valley School District Board meeting on April 27th. At that meeting, we were granted permission to proceed with locating and designing a well on school property near the elementary school. So what we've done is we've commenced design on that new water supply well. I provided a schematic with my outline that shows the proposed location for that well, which hasn't changed. It's the same schematic that I believe we've seen in the past. So at that meeting as well, we were told or given authorization to have the city attorney provide or draft an easement document for not only the new well number 5, but also the area around your existing well number 4 on the school property. And Attorney Olson went ahead and did that. And I am planning on attending the school board meeting at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to answer any questions that the school board may have regarding that document that's been provided to them. Willie, hopefully you got my answer today to the questions that some of the school board members had.
Yep, that was sent over to Superintendent Schmidt. He's in receipt of that.
Good, thank you. Funding application information was submitted regarding this project to the PFA back in March. We did have to go through complete an environmental review for this project. We had to publish a notice in your local paper. We had to send out documentation to various parties, authorities within the area, and allow them a comment period. That comment period actually expired on May 11th. And once that was done, I submitted all the documentation to the Minnesota Department of Health. I also provided a copy of all that documentation to Willie. I see some of it is included in the information on the city's website, but again, that was just for the city's files. And Willie, if you want a PDF copy of that, I've got that. Obviously, you probably already PDF'd it on your end, but
Yep.
so basically, like I said, I just wanted to provide an update. The big thing, the big news I would say is, you know, Willie and I have been corresponding back and forth through this process. I sent some emails on to Kathy Barrett, who is your local loan officer with the PFA, just inquiring about the availability of loan funds given the COVID-19 situation, given the fact that a bonding bill has not been passed by the state of Minnesota yet. Kathy responded by email and said, yes, we are in position to receive loan funds. The city at this time does not qualify for grant dollars because of basically your lack of debt service. And we had that discussion at I believe it was the March council meeting where I presented some information on where the city's at financially, and that we probably did not expect a lot of grant funds for this project. And that was verified by Kathy from the PFA. I will be in town tomorrow, meeting with Willie, Justin, and whoever else from the city wants to attend. I believe that meeting's at 1 o'clock. To just kind of go over where we're at with the design process, go over what we've done to date, allow city staff the opportunity to comment on what we're doing. And again, our goal is to get you the end product that you want as a city. You have to operate this in the end. This is not our project. This is the city of Appleton's project. So that's why we're having that meeting tomorrow. I've included an estimated project schedule at the bottom of my outline. That I don't believe has changed since day one. We're basically on schedule. And I guess that's all I have. I also included in my outline a copy of that draft permanent utility easement that is going to be reviewed tomorrow morning by the school board. And hopefully everybody got a chance to glance through that. Does anybody have any questions or comments for me?
I'd like to discuss, if it's okay with the city council, we have some invoices from Apex, about two of them in particular, one for $99,984.60 and the other one for $1,957. Given the threat that we are in COVID, the slowdown to cash, I'd like the city council to vote for paying that amount today with other amounts that exceed the threshold for purchase policy, which is $5,000, but to allow for disbursement to happen at a later time, closer to June 30th, just so that we are in a better cash flow position before we disperse that large amount of money.
As far as we get our first half taxes, Willie, from the county?
Liz?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they come end of May, beginning of June usually.
Right, so I want us to, because if we pay it all now, we're gonna I won't be able to sleep, guys. I'd like to please have some money in the bank before we pay them.
And Bob, you're comfortable with that, if we wait, a few weeks or whatever it is?
We will definitely work with the city on it. We understand the situation that's happening out there. That is fine.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so there's no
Thanks,
action
Bob.
or motion right now. It's later on in the program today. But I just wanted to discuss it with Joe. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep, thank you. Again, I'm gonna be in town tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. Parks and Recreations.
So happy to report, maybe some of you have seen some of our guys. We've hired 3 full-time, 1 part-time, and they're cleaning up all the grass and all that needs to be done in preparation for Memorial Day and beyond. We're happy to have them. We've hired a new full-time office assistant. Jason helped us with that interview process. Jason, did you like the interview process?
It was a very tough interview process for the candidates, but it was a very good interview process, and we had great candidates.
Thank you. And the wastewater department's had installation of an aerator. James?
Jim Nelson?
Yes,
down
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Talk to us about the wastewater plant.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yep,
Yep.
sound good.
Okay. We received the aerator and installed it on May 15th. Justin and his staff, Assistant Jordan and I, and it went very smoothly. We did get some assistance from Dan Tossel Construction with the use of their lull. We needed that to reach out to that second ring to set the aerator in. It all went well. We did have an additional $400 cost to have Clemens hook up the electrical on it. The electrical is now, I would say, about 80% permanent. We will have to redo a couple things when we lift the present brush rotor out of the ditch. That is going to require a crane, a small crane. So what I'm suggesting is that we wait until there's a crane scheduled in town for whatever work, and we'll see if we can't piggyback on that visit to get this. But actually, two rotors lifted out. We can do the labor releasing it and that stuff, but we do need a crane to set it on the ground. That's really all. It's working really well. We have plenty of DO with the mixer. We haven't had to even run the blower very much, so it's going to be really nice when we do get impacted by a heavy load from industry or whatever. But I think it's really the clear solution to replacing those brush rotors in the future. The only other thing I'd like to add is that Justin and his staff have helped Jordan a lot out at the wastewater plant to reorganize and clean things up. If this COVID thing is over, I would encourage the mayor and council people to stop out and take a look at what the guys have accomplished. That's really all I have. Are there any questions?
No, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you.
The next thing is our airport crack ceiling project is on schedule. We should be breaking ground for that project as of the end of May or early June. We have all the updated surety and performance bonds. When I came on, these were expired, and I made sure that they were updated. And so that's been taken care of, and we have contract signed by Bargain Inc., who is the winning bidder. The state, as you guys well know, has signed off on this grant, and we are set to go with that. More grant talk. We got a small grant from the Minnesota Department of Health for the ambulance in the amount of $33,836. They had asked for $41,000, but they got most of it, so we can get a couple of the things they need for them to be able to respond to COVID. And with that, I turn it over to the hospital. They have a financial presentation.
Hello, this is Jake. Can you guys hear me good?
Yep, sound good.
So, like I said, this is Jake Bank, CFO at Appleton Health. I'm going to go over March financials quick, and then there's a handout I believe you guys have also. So, March, the accounts payable we're at 100% at the end of March, and then the quarter, we have everything paid within 60 days, so that's been ongoing. It's been at 100% for quite a few months now. Our days cash on hand went from about 30 to 37 from February to March. So that was good that it jumped up to 37. Our AR days dropped to 52. AR days kind of measures our efficiency at collecting accounts receivable. And our operating margin was 0.27%, down quite a bit from the previous month. Halfway through March is kind of when COVID hit and started impacting our revenue streams and outpatient in the clinic. So that's why that was, close to break even. That's it kind of for March financials. The other attachment I believe you guys have is a tool that, me and the board and Lori and senior leadership managers are kind of using, and just kind of keeping track of our cash flow with and without funding. Kind of some graphs associated with it, so you can see with our, and I do this about once or twice a week, kind of our cash and, knowing that the cash on hand without the funding, how much it's actually depleting. but with the funding, how we're doing. So some things that we monitor, pretty regularly. City council have any questions? Financial questions? Okay, thanks.
Yep,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Next is the water supply plan.
And we'll move on to the approving the water supply plan.
Emma, do you want to talk about that to the city council?
Sure. Okay, so in 2018, Justin and previous leadership attended a meeting with the DNR that every so often you have to update your water supply plan. So this was actually a project that took shape in the summer of 2018. We had a deadline of October 2018 to submit the plan. And myself, Justin, and our former water operator did the bulk of the work on this project, and we were able to submit it by the end of September of 2018. And what this plan does is it just is another way to look at your water usage in the town, not only residentially, but commercially, and what systems you have in place to help conserve water and look forward to the future of how you're going to maintain your water system. And this actually was a large part of a requirement for a PFA loan, that this had to be approved. So we just got word the beginning of May that our plan was approved by the DNR, which allows us to be eligible for all PFA funding. The plan is quite long. I believe there's 10 appendices besides the plan itself. It's all located on our website. So if you do have questions, you can go and look at that. And any further questions, we've got copies in our office, and myself and Justin can answer some questions on those.
So I just want to thank you and Justin, and also the efforts of previous leadership are documented there, because the truth is, guys, that without this, there's no apex, there's no water, there's no wastewater. We'd be stuck in the mud right now. So thank you, guys.
Yep, thanks a lot. Do I have a motion?
I, Councilmember Schmidt, motion to approve Minnesota Department of Natural Resources approved water supply plan for the city of Appleton.
Motion has been made by Councilor Schmidt to approve the water supply plan. Do I hear a second?
This is Counselor Henry, I second.
Councilor Hammerud has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. 5 yeses, no nays. The City of Appleton Water Supply Plan is hereby approved. Motion to approve gambling permits for AAH and the Lions Club.
I, Councilmember Molden, motion to approve without delay the Appleton Area Health Foundation and the Appleton Lions Club to host their raffle on July 23rd, 2020, and August 19th through August 23rd, 2020, respectively, pursuant to the application guidelines of the Minnesota Gambling Control Board as prescribed by Minnesota Statute 349.166C.
Motion has been made by Councilor Molden to approve Appleton Area Foundation and that the Lions Club gambling permits. Do I hear a second?
This is Heineke, I second.
Councilor Heineke has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea, unanimous. The Appleton Area Health Foundation and the Lions Club gambling permits are hereby approved. Motion to approve payments of invoices beyond city's purchasing policy threshold.
So,
I, Councilmember Schmidt, motion to approve payments of invoices beyond the city's purchase policy in the total amount of $153,352.60, with $51,411 being dispersed immediately, and the balance of $101,941.60 dispersed to Apex when the Office of the City Administrator determines that the city's cash position is at an appropriate point for payment to be made not to exceed the date of June 30th, 2020.
Motion has been made by Councilor Schmidt to approve the payment of invoices of Apex Engineering Service, Prairie Land, Library Systems, and the Swift County Assessors in the amount of $153,352.60. Do I hear a second?
This is Counselor Hammered, I second.
Councilor Hammered has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Willie?
so yeah, just wanted to remind you guys, this is what we were discussing earlier with regard to Apex.
Yep.
And then the other one is for the assessing fees from the county, and then for the library services, Pioneer Land.
Okay. Any other discussion? We'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. Motion carries unanimously. A payment of $153,352.60 is hereby approved. Motion to approve performance measures established for the city by the council and local results in innovation and the office of the state auditor.
So that's just a very long title for saying that there is a legislative action that has established a board that wants to help local governments function as professionally as possible, and it's being processed through the office of the state auditors. So what they have is a number of performance measures across 6 categories, of which 10 must be selected. The staff has identified 10 of those categories, and essentially what we're doing is we're holding ourselves accountable as a city organization to our citizenry and reporting our efforts to the state once we're done with the program to make sure that we're improving in our services. And for example, one of the areas the general category is for the rating of overall quality of services provided by your city. The percent change in taxable property market value, which we had some of those discussions today. The bond rating, which we've been discussing for a long time. The categories go across all the services of the city, basically, and by participating, we will get $200 this time around. And also, I think what it will really do is make us very accountable to our city, to our citizens in a way that they can read upon.
Do I have a motion?
I, Councilmember Molden, motion to approve that performance measures 1, 2, 6, general category, 9, 10, 12, police services, 15, 18, 19, fire and EMS, 24, streets, categories from Office of the State Auditor's Performance Measurement Program be adopted.
A motion has been made by Councilor Molden to approve and adoption of performance measures, general, police, service, fire, and EMS, and street categories. Do I hear a second?
Heineke, I second.
Councilor Heineke has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? We will do a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. 5 carries unanimously. The performance measure is hereby adopted. Motion to adopt resolution 2020-19. Do I have a motion?
I, Councilmember Hammerud, motion to adopt Resolution 2020-19 for reporting outcomes of the adopted performance measures to citizens pursuant to https://www.reservoir.min.gov statutes/site 6.91 guidelines.
Motion has been made by Counselor Hamrud to approve the adoption resolution 2020-19. Do I hear a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Counselor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to apologize to Tori for putting the entire hyperlink.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Motion carries unanimously. Resolution 2020-19 is here adopted. Motion to adopt resolution 2020-20.
I,
I,
Councilmember
Councilmember Schmidt,
Molden.
motion to adopt resolution 2020-20 to have Officer Damon N. Burkle accepted as a member of the Public Employees Police and Fire Plan.
Motion has been made by Counselor Schmidt to approve the adoption of resolution 2020-20. Do I have a second?
This is Councilmember Molden, I'll second.
Councilmember Molden has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yay. Motion carries unanimously. Resolution 2020-20 is hereby adopted. Motion to amend Articles 3, 13, and 15 of the city's non-union employee contract. Do I have a motion?
I, Councilmember Hammerud, motion to amend Articles 3, 13, and 15 of the city non-union employee contract as presented by staff.
A motion has been made by Counselor Hammerud to amend the city's non-union employee contract. Do I hear a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Counselor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion?
Yep, so our policies, and in particular, human resources policies, our non-union employee contract are living documents. And in particular, the non-union employee contract has not really been updated in a long time. And this was an update that was needed to help us process human resources functions and also to make us compliant with the law. Our non-union employee contract did not make distinctions between non-exempt and exempt employees, which caused issues with how you accrue overtime and comp time. This addresses that. In addition, we offer and we promise to our employees tuition reimbursement program. The way it's currently written, you can go and get a degree, $200,000 in Harvard. There are no limits. So what I did is I looked at what the League of Minnesota suggests, and I put strings on it so that if you get help from the city to get an education of any sort, you can't leave unless you pay it. And also I limited how much you can charge per year. And that's pretty standard protocol. Another thing that I did was with regards to our severance policy, which is on our non-union contract. I limited the hours that you can cash out when you leave to 25%, not to exceed 240 comp hours. And that number, 240, comes from the federal government for comp hours.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. Motion carries unanimously. The city non-union employee contract is hereby amended. Staff report.
We have with us the illustrious Liz Goddess. She'll talk to you about the transaction.
Hello. Okay. This transaction summary is for the month of April. Fund balances, the unrestricted general fund balances were $909,920.29. And the restricted fund balance is $983,468.54, with making that a total of $1,893,388.83. During the month, for accounts payable transactions, we processed 241 invoices that totaled $508,965.40. Checkbook disbursements, motor vehicle monies to the state was $26,281.50. That was quite a bit less because of the COVID, and then we just started here in the last couple of weeks accepting transactions again. DNR monies to the state was $489.60. Payroll checks, that was $62,125.74. And that, this month was one of the months that we had 3 pay periods that were paid. We paid the federal withholding, Social Security, and Medicare, $11,572.23. The state withholding, $2,069.39. The PERA, $10,083.14. Approved invoice payments, which was 64 checks and 106 invoices. That was $350,993.57. The automatic payments were 88 transactions, 90 invoices, and that was $76,724.05. Under the city purchasing policy, invoices that were over $5,000, we paid liquor sales tax payment of $5,700. Payroll and health insurance, that was $20,216.49, $23,201.29, $18,707.96. Those 3 were all payroll. The last one is $20,571. That was the health insurance. We had an electric bill for the wastewater plant of $5,750.66. And then we also did some approved payments of $45,500 to Bader, $9,165, and $76,624 to the League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust, and that was our property and general liability insurance policies. $38,941.85 and $19,902. That was an employee severance. And then we also paid Apex $105,816.60. And then we have a contractual service that will be paid. It's due on July 1st. And it's going to go to for the fire department's new SCBA's, and that will be $25,606.34. And also coming up, we will be making 2 wires to the Northland Securities for the first half bond payments, which is mostly interest. On May 27th, it will total $8,976.25. And on June 10th, it will be $49,117.75. And the checkbook deposits for the past month was deputy registrar did a couple of transfers from money markets that totaled $350,000. And that is pretty much it.
Thank you, Liz. We love having you here. So with the onset of COVID-19 and pressures that we're all feeling to open, we surveyed a little bit communities in our surrounding area. You'll see that I've attached that here for your convenience, but we'll just run through that really quickly. So in the city of Milan, they're currently closed to the public, and their plan is to wait until the Chippewa Courthouse opens, and then they're gonna start taking appointments. Madison's plan is that they're currently closed to the public, and their counters and phones are attended by one person currently while they install some plexiglass. And as of June 1st, they will consider whether or not their plan to open is complete. Dawson's plan is that they're currently closed to the public, and they are working on their plan. Their plan is set to be approved by their city council on the 2nd, and they're not allowing outside parties in common areas. Canby's plans are that they too are not open, but they're awaiting some door inserts before they open to prevent public from accessing their office. And they, like us, they have a Prairie 5 meal site and a library. Our county here, Swift County, has a phased reopen plan. And our plan is also phased, but we're not quite as comprehensive as the county. The county's plan begins today, and they're going to continue to be closed to the public, but for appointments. In their second phase, which will start June 1st, they will take appointments, and they will still be closed, and they will be open only Monday through Thursday, allowing for Friday deep cleanings. 50% of their employees are due to return at that point. They are going to enforce strict guidelines on wearing masks, enforcing people to wash their hands, and to adhere to hygienic preferences that are set to prevent the spread of COVID-19. For our purposes, we found that we don't have the ability to really enforce certain preferences. We can't force people to wash their hands. We are not medical professionals, so we can take your temperature and force you to do things. So the best that we can do for the city of Appleton is to bottleneck how services are accessed without infringing upon civil liberties that are enjoyed by all citizens. So what we're proposing, let's talk about what we have right now. The executive orders 20-56 prohibit gatherings of more than 10 people. The city staff recommends that we continue to follow this until the order expires or is rescinded. The executive order 2056 also strongly encourages the use of masks or face coverings that are used when entering public spaces. This is per CDC and MDH guidelines for areas where social distancing is difficult to maintenance. Executive Orders 2055 defines who is at risk and recommends that those populations stay home. The city staff will also like to echo this recommendation to our community members who might fall within the definition for COVID-19 related risk. What we've done with these current guidelines are as follows. As you know, our building is closed to the public, but for services that are provided by phone, mail, or online wherever possible. In-person meetings are canceled, but for governing meetings. So that leaves the City Council and the Appleton Area Health Board are the only boards that should be able to meet right now. Pursuant to Resolution 20-13, which the City Council approved, those boards cannot meet. Library services are being conducted via curbside, drop-off, and virtual services. And reservations of this room, the council chambers, and judges' chambers have been suspended for now. Now, what we're proposing is that in phase 1, starting today, where appointments will be allowed into the building, while we're closed to the public, if they call for an appointment, we'll give them that appointment. Now, phase 2 is a long-term phase. What we'd like to do is that effective when the executive orders expire or rescinded, or July 6th, whichever is sooner, we would like for there to be alternating days of available service. So that means that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., members of the public can come in. I see you confused.
Well, 8 to noon. 8 to noon.
Oh, sorry, they get to eat lunch. Sorry. 8 to noon, members of the public can come in on Monday or Wednesday, Friday, to do their in-person work. On Tuesday and Wednesday, they can come in the afternoon for in-person, from noon to 5. Excuse me, 1 to 5. And on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in the afternoon, just for online, telephone, or correspondence work. And then the inverse for Tuesday and Thursday. The reason for that is that if the executive orders are to expire or be rescinded, we don't want to put limits on the number of people, because that would infringe upon their rights. But what we would like to do is to change the way our hours are accessed, versus online versus in person. So that's the plan that we have. You know, we have plexiglass. Are those plexiglasses?
Tempered glass.
We have tempered glass installed at our offices and the police office as well. And we are gonna have deep cleaning. We got 2 quotes for deep cleaning and professional cleaning services. What was it, Serve? It was Service Master gave us a quote for $9,089.71 to clean all of the buildings that the city owns, not including the hospital. And that's just for one deep cleaning. I think we're gonna have to do more than one, particularly before we open to the public. And so I'm in the process of applying for FEMA grants for that. The other thing to consider is the rental or reservation, if you will, of this room, council chambers, and judges' chambers. We're concerned that during the day, any bodies that would rent this space or reserve it during regular, normal business hours, that they don't fill it up with more than 15 people. Because that would then keep people in close proximity in here. So after the 5 p.m. hour, if they want to reserve it, then they can fill it to its legal capacity, provided that they commit to paying the additional custodial hours for having the room cleaned properly. So we have 2 phases. The first one is basically what we're doing now, and the second one is long-term. And we would like this to be revisited at every subsequent meeting of the city council, so that we're adapting quick enough to the situation.
Do I have a motion?
This is Councilmember Heineke, motion to adopt the phase reopening plan as presented by city staff.
Motion has been made by Councilor Heineke to approve and adopt the city phase reopening plan. Do I have a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Councilor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Is there any discussion?
Yes. Emma, can you talk about the scheduling? So when we're gonna have people, some people are gonna call on the phone during times when the city is only gonna be available by phone, just as it is right now. We have a proposed schedule for you guys to consider.
Okay, council members, in your packet, there is a appointment scheduling that myself and Liz have come up with. We did sit down and try to estimate the amount of time each transaction takes, not only for motor vehicle, which is our primary business up at our front windows, but our general type stuff, our permitting, our cemetery, and then our water sewer garbage. There's a table attached for the estimated time. Those are just what we would generally spend. There may be some more time, give or take. So what Willie has proposed with the alternating in-person office time with appointments on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursdays, what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 appointment schedules. One's going to be in 15-minute increments, and those are going to be for our simple transactions that are going to take 15 minutes or less. A lot of the permitting water bills, if they have questions about that, or simple renewals. Those don't take too much time, so we're thinking a 15-minute schedule. People can call in, make an appointment. Once they come in, that is the business that they will be doing. If they come up with something else that they forgot or want to do, they will have to make an appointment to do that, because we want to eliminate how many people are coming in and out of the building and make sure people are getting the services they need without having contact with too many other people outside of their household. On the other side, we do have a Schedule B, I call it. It's for our complex transactions. It's for those title transfers that, out-of-state vehicles, brand-new vehicles that require more time from staff, or if someone has a couple title transfers, they can make an appointment, or maybe need to make 2 appointments, depending on what our staff in the office feel is appropriate, and we will be doing those. The only note I do have is on our Tuesday and Thursday schedule, we will make sure that all motor vehicle transactions, the last appointment is at 4 o'clock. This gives us time, because we do normally close our office at 4:30. This gives our staff in the office time to reconcile the end of the day transactions for the motor vehicle and get all of our reports generated and submitted to the state by the time that they close their computers at the end of the day. And then that way too, it gives our staff time, so we're not having someone come in at 4:45 and then we're here later in the evening than our normal business hours. And this is, like Willie said, this is kind of a moving, living thing right now, and it may need to be adjusted as we find we need more appointment times, or we need to limit the number of appointments that are available if we have too many people coming in and out of the building when those people are here for appointments.
We found it
Emma,
necessary
when
to
is
do
the
this.
proposed start of this schedule then?
June 1st is what Willie has indicated to us that we will start doing that. And we will be formulating something that we will be publishing to the community, both internet and in print, so that people are aware of what they need, our times, and the procedures, because the big thing is going to be the customers having everything they need when they come in. Because in the past, we've had customers come in without complete information. They go and they get their information and come back. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that, so we want to make sure we can have all the information ahead of time. And now with our new office assistant, she can hopefully help us in screening those calls, so then making sure the customer is aware of what they need before they come into the office.
This is something that we've been thinking and working really hard on and trying to strategize, because if we were to open while other cities are closed, remember, we don't only serve residents of Appleton for motor vehicle transactions. We would be bombarded. So we have to spread the wealth of responsibility, if you will, and open up when other people are also opening up.
Any other questions for her? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Something?
No.
Counselor Schmidt?
Yay.
Counselor Molden?
Yay.
Counselor Heineke?
Yay.
Counselor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. Passes unanimously. The city of Appleton will adopt its phased reopening plan, hereby is adopted.
So let's talk pools. I know some cities are concerned about opening their pools. We're concerned too, but I don't think we can move forward and not offer one of the only forms of recreation we have for our city. With that being said, given the pandemic that we're actually living in, we have to take certain steps. So Emma has been doing a lot of research on here. I just want the community to know that we are working hard to open your pool, and we will open your pool. Okay? Emma?
Okay, I don't know if anybody had a chance this afternoon to watch the governor's address. He did move it to 3 o'clock on YouTube. I know our city staff, we try to every day watch that, so we keep up on what he's saying. I did read over briefly his reopening plan for the different outdoor facilities. And then I did receive an email from Countryside Public Health that unfortunately pools will not be allowed to open state guidelines, and then there's also a Pool and Hot Tub Alliance that has actually really laid out a plan for not only outdoor but indoor pools, and facilities, how they're gonna reopen. So I am currently working on coming up with a plan that is a phased plan like everything is right now, and mainly focusing on what we can do as a city to be prepared that when we get that okay to open, we don't delay it any longer, we are able to open. And just like everywhere, it's a lot of sanitizing requirements, hand washing, face masks, having a staff member that is just there, not to lifeguard, but just to ensure that all distancing and sanitizing requirements are met. And I will be, once I complete this, we'll be meeting with Justin, who is our certified pool operator, and discussing the different options that we have. You know, like Willie said, and I totally agree with, we need to have the pool open. It's just a matter of when it will be open, and we want to make sure that we follow all the guidelines set out by the state. But I know there's been lots of questions. We're all eagerly awaiting summer, and just know that we are really working hard to make sure that when we open, it is in the safest way possible.
Thank you, Emma. Moving on, motion to enter into closed session for the purpose of.
I got a question for Willie here, quick under his staff questions. Yeah, with you being on like for 6 months now, kind of getting comfortable with the role, just looking through the budget, wondering your feelings on the $20,000 that we spent for Appleton EDA and hiring out somebody to do those services. Is that something where we can transition you to start doing, or what's your feelings on that, Willie?
It's, many cities have that role being served by the city administrator, city manager. It's something that I've done many times before. It's common practice. And if the city council is comfortable with making that change, I don't see any issue with doing that.
I just feel that that's a significant chunk of money that could go towards, paying for part of your role. And if you're already doing part of the work now, then that seems like a natural transition to me.
Okay, well, what I can do is I'll put it on the agenda for our June meeting. Our June meeting hopefully won't get so crowded like this one in terms of the work, because we have a couple of performance evaluations. But yes, I think that's, in terms of the budget, if I'm doing some of the work already, we don't really need to move forward with that contract any further.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to enter into closed session for the purpose of an employee performance evaluation pursuant to Minnesota statute 13D.05 subdivision .3A.
By Councilmember Molden, motion to enter into closed session at 19:05.
Motion has been made by Councilor Molden to enter into closed session. Do I hear a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Councilor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea unanimously. The motion to enter into closed session is hereby approved.
Oh, yeah, I guess you have to do the motion to reopen.
Yeah, sorry,
Where do we got that?
to open the closed
You
session
just
back
gotta
up. We're gonna end the closed session.
Oh. Okay, we
I'll
need
make
a
a
motion to
Councilmember Schmidt, I'll
reopen
make
the
a
closed
motion
session.
to open the closed session at, 7:23.
So that was Councilor Schmidt?
Yep.
Councilor Schmidt made a motion to reopen the closed session. Do I have a second?
Heineke, I'll second.
Councilor Heineke has seconded the motion to reopen the closed session. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Councilor Schmidt?
Yay.
Councilor Molden?
Yay.
Councilor Heineke?
Yay.
Councilor Hammerud?
Yay.
My vote as mayor is yea. Passes unanimously. Motion to reopen the closed session. Now, Counselor Molden.
This is Counselor Malden. I'll make a motion to adjourn the May 20th, 2020 regular meeting of the Appleton.
Do I have a, motion's been made by Counselor Molden to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Counselor Schmidt, I'll second.
Counselor Schmidt has seconded the motion. Will there be any discussion? Hearing none, motion